Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, LoneStarMopars.com. Long time no tool haul. May not seem like it to you, but it has been a while. Again, I've got these things backed up for forever. And essentially, I've had a lot of stuff kind of just collecting in the floor here. Some of it's been used, some of it I'm just ready to kind of get in the box and get in use. So I'm kind of trying to flash back to what my thought process was when I bought all this stuff, and I think I recall. And we're going to run with that. So it'll probably seem a little slow at the start, but it will ratchet up in intensity towards the end. So hopefully you enjoy. As always with the tool haul videos, links down below. We'll kind of have the rough price. We'll have a link. If you want to pick it up, you can. Currently, I don't make jack squat anything off that. It's honestly just there for your convenience. So if you see something you like in this video and it's new, there will be a link down below. There are also timestamps. So feel free, if you want to spoil the video, kind of see what's there, you can skip ahead if you are so inclined. Now, without further ado, let us jump in, shall we? Now, I will tell you, the Alpha gloves are filthy. And there's some of this that I don't want to get filthy, so we will be rocking the little plain Jane Gedore mechanic ones, and fitting segue right here to this. What is this? You've seen it a million times on the channel by now, and the reason you constantly see them is because I love them. They're dirt cheap. It is a Gedore L-Boxx. This is a very, very small one. Transparent lid, great color scheme. It's about all you need to know, right? It's $17.21. I want to say you can typically catch them. That price, I feel like it's gone up a little bit. I want to say I used to think these were like 11 to 14. Maybe that was with a promotion quarterly deal or something. But anyway, sub 20 bucks if you're tight on space or this works into your measurements. It's a great deal. Also, repeat offender. I killed one of these. And decided to bring in another one because they look great. They're easy for me to find. They are blue ink, and they're 71 cents. So if you're ever at a point where free freight, you know, is like $1, you know, or like 50 cents away, and you're like, man, what do I do? Pin, you know, little things. Key tag, whatever, and get your free freight, be a happy man or woman, and move on with your life. Now, let's see here. This particular L-Boxx, I want to say I brought in at the time because I want to put a lot of bulbs in it. There was also something else that I came up with real recently that I thought would be really good for these, so you'll probably be seeing another one here before too long. But when I open this up, we're going to have some of the tools in here, and we were also going to have a bonus. Now, as you know, any KC tool order, if you see it $100, you get the German tool sticker pack. I've seen it a million times. We also get the bit of thanks. Currently, they are sending out the Felo KC tool stamped #2 Phillips. So, as we open her up, here we are. Again, 6 compartments. You can open it up all the way, whatever you want to do. You'll be seeing another one of these here later in the video, spoiler alert. So, not new, but one that we currently have in use. So, one of the items in here, I didn't bother to documents. Let me see if I can find its companion. Thought I grabbed it, don't know that I did. But if you recall, one of the recent tool hauls, we had sort of an odd duck. It was from Stahlwille. It was all black. And I said, man, that's not what we wanted. It was a Stubby, and instead of getting the #2 Phillips that we wanted to use for testing, we got a slotted one. It was a situation, I can't remember if the part numbers were crossed or the bag had something now on it, but it was essentially, I mean, you can't see the tip unless you just really, really work at it. So I finally remembered to email KC2 and be like, hey, did y'all ever happen to get this in? And they were like, oh man, sorry, we forgot. And it was sent out with my next order. So that is the Stahlwille Stubby right there. Part number. You can probably use 4734 and then pick your tip of choice. But if you want the full length one, ST4734-1002. So this is probably like in the 9 to 18 range, since it is Stahlwille. But that was something that I was sitting there and I had it, and I thought, you know, we should just throw that in with this stuff, because we're about to get to the part that may seem uneventful to you. Eventually, we'll probably do a head-to-head with these, but I guess we'll just go with what is on the ticket here. So from Wiha, part number 72110. It's right here. And as you can clearly see, it is a socket adapter with a ball retainer. What are we doing there? We're going from quarter square to quarter hex, right? So if we come in and we open it up, This one, I should say, I was going to point this out, but then I realized the back says it. This is made in America, so this is not Vietnamese, this is not German, this is legit made in the USA. So Wiha has actually, I think, been doing a little bit more manufacturing in America, which is very cool. But this is essentially what we've got. It's hex 2/4 drive, like you'd have essentially, you know, you can think of this as, you know, an adapter of sorts, and then it's got the push button, and it's made in America. So nothing too crazy. Price point, if you need one of these, this is our bargain basement guy at $587, which I thought was a very fair price, particularly again for made in America. Coming in next, where's our next one located? We got one from Stahlwille. Spoiler alert, it wasn't $587. It would run $10.40. Let's grab its bag here. It is part number ST311 5000, like 50002. So this is the same thing, 1/4 hex to 1/4 square. And they spec out, you know, like this is manually driven. What does that mean? Well, typically when you would be dealing with something like this, it would be a guy with his impact, you know, battery powered and wanting sort of like a power tool adapter, right? Well, that's not what these are. These are sort of, you know, again, like it says, for manual stuff. Now, cool thing here, theirs is black. And I swear, these, the more I use Stahlwille, the more I can, you know, kind of see where their price justifications could be coming from, and I really like it. So I don't know. Let me try to find the sweet spot here. There we go. Now I don't know that you can read that verbatim, but you should, if you know Stahlwille. What is that? That's a wrench. And what's in the middle of the wrench? Their name. So they've got the Stahlwille logo, and then going a step above and beyond that anyone can appreciate, we got the part number 3115/1. Nothing crazy, no Easter eggs on the other sides, but it is black. It has the ball D tints, and again, roughly double the price from the Wiha, $10.40, made in Germany. So, you know, if that's your thing, if it's like, well, you know, I want it to be German, $5 extra, it'll get you there. Now, coming in next, I have a weird situation here, because I've got something from Wera that should be in this bag, and it's not there. It would be a power tool adapter. I think I've brought these in the past. They tend to jam up on me, and I'm thinking I have one I know in my impact bag, and then I think I did something with another one, and I was bringing one in for this, and I honestly am inclined to think that this came to me empty, but there's also a chance that I pulled it to use it for something and don't remember. But typically with stuff like this, I mean, I've got other things that would get me by. I feel like it came empty. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't have it here to show you. But it would have run 501, made in the Czech Republic. And then similarly, what I do have in the bag here that I didn't lose or didn't come empty is essentially their manual adapter. You guessed it, 1/4 hex to 1/4 square. So their part number going to be 136000. Price point on this guy, where was it? Interestingly enough, $10.36, which costs about double, actually more than double, what their power tool version does. The power tool version, I swear I've got one somewhere I could dig out for you. But I mean, it would be what, if you had this side by side with the power tool version, 99% of people are going to say, probably 100% of people would say that's going to cost more. And I don't really know what the justification is. Maybe this one's built a little bit better. Because like I said, that power tool one, it's not really a ball detent, it's more of like a pin. And like I said, I don't use it a ton, but I have used it quite a bit, and pretty much every time I use it, that pin is a pain in the butt. So kind of like the Stahlwille, they've got the Wera branding and a part number there, so kudos for that. You even have it stamped for 1/4 drive. But that empties out this Gedore L-Boxx. Let's pan back out. And you're thinking, man, you know, that's neat to see all that stuff, but this is boring, you know, like, you don't need to see $20, $30 worth of adapters and stuff, you know, what's the deal? Well, you got to think back to when I was probably ordering these things, and maybe this will start to get your attention now, right? I'm going to throw that there. We're going to come in. I thought I had bought one from Felo too. I'm not sure what's up with that, but speaking of Felo, we got Felo, Wiha, Stahlwille, Wiha again, Felo again. And you're probably thinking like, whoa, what's the deal? Well, let me kind of explain to you what I was thinking. And I think this stems from the same thing. We're going to bring this thing in. It's filthy. My apologies. I actually do use the snot out of this kit. Really, really nice for interior work. I don't want to scratch up my rally cluster back there, but all I need is this guy. We're going to grab the tin conveniently. So, let's come in here, all right? We're going to grab the Stahlwille adapter, all right? Now, you're sitting here and you're thinking, okay, what's going on? Well, let me show you. Typically, with this, which is our flex handle screwdriver, right, we would come in, and if we were working with, say, Phillips screws on the dash, that's a weird one with a strange angle, which I forgot the Stahlwille is the spring-loaded one, so it's a little trickier. This is what this would typically look like, right? It's a flexible shaft screwdriver, sort of the end-all and be-all of strange accessibility. Well, what if I told you we could do better than that? What if you don't have, let's say that you like on the dash of the truck, which I've got screws conveniently right here in the headlight switch, okay? This is a situation where we have not only, where is the magic points? Phillips head, just take my word for it, okay? Phillips head, we also have a socket. Well, let's say that, you know, this is a used vehicle and people have had the dash apart to do the heater core and they strip things out because they use guns on quarter drive stuff, whatever it might be. Let's say that Phillips is just mangled. There's absolutely no way for you to do anything with it. Well, you would typically have to come in and try to extract it or drill it type of a thing, right? But since this is hex shaped, which do I remember it being an 8? I think I do. You have another, it's actually a 7. Interesting. You have another course of action here, right? You can come in and you can use a socket. And that's, you know, some people will do that naturally. Some people will do that if the Phillips is stripped. Sort of depends what your game is. Now, let's take this same screw, and it's not easy to get to, okay? So we're going to pull the bit from our flexible shaft screwdriver for the weird screw we just took out, and we've got another one, the companion. Check this out. We're going to take Stahlwille's adapter and we're going to press fit it into their flexible shaft screwdriver. Now, where are we going now? Well, where typically, as built, this is 6, this is hex, it's just like a bit. You could do any standard bit, you know, any long length bit if it's an adapted thing. But you could never do sockets unless you have an adapter like this. So what did we do? We went from the hex bit socket to this adapter, which converts it to quarter drive, just essentially like we would have on our ratchet there. So we now have our 7mm socket on a flexible shaft screwdriver, right? Bit holder, whatever you want to call it. And this, they do make, several companies make, don't hold me to which ones, but they do make flexible shaft nut drivers. Now, if you're rolling on a budget, or you already have a flexible shaft screwdriver, and you're not going to need the flexible shaft nut drivers all the time or very frequently at all, doesn't it make sense to spend $5 to $10 on an adapter and just combine it with sockets that you most assuredly already have, as opposed to shelling out a crud ton of money for a set? And as you know, if you do buy them individually, 1, you're probably going to eventually need a size you didn't pick up, and 2, you spend way more money getting them individually than you do on a set. This becomes a pretty cool little workaround, does it not? Same thing over here. We can take the Wera one. Let's actually check this out. I've got a lot of credit here for you. So this was from the Easter deal, right? And this tiny little guy here, I actually had this in the house until I needed one of the bits out here in the shop, and then I've accidentally just left it in the shop. But that is a great house kit because this driver, it's so small. You know, like typically with a Stubby, you know, you come in and it's like, yeah, it's short, but look how fat the handle is, and this one's relatively slim, the DRL, but if we come in here, this guy is able to get to towel racks, toilet paper holders, whatever it might be, things mounted to the wall with like hidden hardware, right? And you can utilize those bits and still turn this thing. You know, you don't have any issues with wall clearance. So, keeping that in mind, we now, instead of plugging in a bit, we take Wera's adapter, seats down very nicely here. This is going to make a super nice little tool. We come in, we get our Stahlwille socket in this case. We just created ourselves a 7mm tiny nut driver. Like if you look down at the profile of this thing, right? Very impressive, because the handle, even though it's bulb style for your ergonomics and everything, note that we don't see like a fat handle back here. We have the socket and you don't see any really of the handle. So it maintains the slim profile. This might actually be one of the best slim stubby nut drivers a man could create. So very cool there. And of course, coming in with a Wiha, we're going to drop out their adapter, and we've got their flexible shaft nut driver, right? So again, standard hex bit socket. We throw that end in. We've got the adapter. We can stick on a you know, socket. Or check this out. This little guy was amazing helping me extract the heater core from the truck. And again, it's set up not for sockets, okay, but for bits. And when you have that, you have a need for this adapter. So we plug in, and now I can come in. Where's my 10mm? We've lost it. Okay, here it is. That was it. So this was a 10mm actually on the Wera, because we had the 7 over there on the Stahlwille. You see how easy it is to lose those little guys, right? Check this out though. We just made a T-handle nut driver without having to spend crazy amounts of money for a standalone tool. You got $5 in the adapter and you convert this from bits to sockets, right? Pretty cool. Now, if you know anything about this particular handle from Wiha, you'll know you also have your torque side. So if we're working with something that's just like seized up on the front end of an old Chrysler, we can come in at 3/8, we're going to snap it. Maybe, just maybe, we get lucky and we can break it free in this orientation. The bottom line, and I mean, it's solid too, right? You know, it's not slapping around, it's not flopping too much. Cheap $5 to $10 adapters are allowing us to expand our collections considerably. So coming in next, let's take this same Wiha one, and this is actually something that I did in the truck on numerous occasions. I was using the Felo at the time. That seems to have really good flex to it. I don't know if it's because I've used it the most or what, but I go from the flexible shaft to our adapter. Now, wait for it. We're not going to throw on another socket and bore you to death. We're going to come up here. I put on a long Wera extension, right? And I mean, look at this. Here's the finger. Here's the end of the long socket adapter. There's our flex driver, and then here's the handle. So I've just created like a fishing pole, you know? I mean, if we're out on a deserted island, you know, we can get supper with this thing, right? So the bottom line, you can kind of see why I was piecing all this stuff together. I think my intentions, I believe the Hazet was like kind of disappointingly expensive. I want to say maybe 16, 18, somewhere in that range. $10, you can almost say, well, if this is a good one and it's from Germany. $20, that's kind of a hard pill to swallow. That's 4 of the Wiha ones that are going to be just fine, and they're made in America. So the plan over time is to hopefully pick up one from Hazet. I want to say I have one from Felo somewhere, or else I would have ordered it. Maybe it was out of stock or something and I didn't. Who knows? But that is what I have going on here. So I'm going to come in now, and this little guy, which I absolutely love, we come in and we pull down. We grab another socket from our sets. Let me spin it around so I can find the slot. Check this out. I just converted this guy into a 9mm. Again, for dash work, anything like that. What did we just do with this? Well, think about it. What's special about this guy? It ratchets. Now, what's also special about it? Boom, 45, 90. This is stupid awesome. So maybe I'm alone, maybe it's not, maybe no one agrees with me here, but you got to think about it. You've got the sockets. You most likely have You know, if nothing else, it doesn't have to be a flexible bit driver. I mean, you could come in and run any bit driver. It can be fixed handle, it can be anything. But you are allowed now to convert from quarter hex bits to quarter drive, and that allows you to do some really cool things with this. You've got a tiny, tiny now nut driver that you can clear the wall with. You can clear tight confines with stereo installs, things along those lines. You can pair it with flexible shaft bit holders, right? You can put it on T-handles. You can do a lot of really cool stuff. And that also plays in really, really well with this next item, which is our final item, which was the tool of the day, which is what I told you to stick around for. And it's going to come from Wera. It is their part number 051030. What's the price, you ask? $82.02. Did I pay $82.02 for this? Absolutely not. Would I pay $82.02 for this? Only if I knew someone that had this and could vouch for it, or I had used it myself. What did I pay for it, since I have it and I said I wouldn't spend $82 for it? A little less than half of that, because it was tool of the day. I believe, don't hold me to this, I want to say it was in the 40 to 50 range, if I'm not mistaken. And you're probably thinking like, okay, do I have to type this in, or are you going to show us what it is? Well, wait no longer, my friends, because it's right here. As with all Wera products, ridiculously sleek, streamlined, modern packaging. And if you're looking at it and you're like, what the heck is that thing? Well, think back, all right? You know, you don't have a torque flight, right? What do you have? You got a 4-speed. What's on the end of the 4-speed that's in your cabin with you? That's right, pistol grip. So, this is a pistol grip screwdriver. I think I had actually ordered this before the Felo one. Don't hold me to that, but it's been a long time, like I said. But anyway, let me try and, good lord, get this thing off. I guess we'll tear this. Typically, I slide them. Alright, so throw that over to the side. We'll come get the rest of this thing off. And you know what? I realize now there's a missed opportunity, because I brought another L-Boxx, like I said, and it was going to tie in with this stuff. I just now realized that. But anyway, like I said, I truly am excited about everything we can do here. So here it is. This is their pistol grip. It's a 7-piece, might actually be 8-piece, I'm not sure. Which at the time I bought, I was like, sweet. I didn't even really realize that the bits came with it, and I think we might get a holster. So again, Wera stuff, if you're new to it, it seems weird. It seems like it would fall apart. It's not like my favorite thing ever, but it's actually functional. I mean, I have to give them that. Also, in certain applications, it's the best way. It's the best way to do things, in my opinion. Not sure about this guy, but, you know, hey, I'm not going to complain about getting it. So, what is inside? Well, we've got the pistol grip itself, which would be, I guess, standalone part number 814RA. Again, if you love this thing, if you have the kit and you're looking for a spare, if you need a replacement and you don't even care to send it in, that would be your ticket. We get a holster, so that is included. And then we get 6 bits. So we're going to get number 1 and 2 Posi, number 1 and 2 Phillips, and T20 and T25 Torx. So, again, as with all things, they're super cool packaging. And I gotta say, that's a pretty good presentation. Just opening the box and, you know, it's already holstered. This could be you. Picture this strapped to your belt, walking into work on Monday, right? Conversation piece, absolutely. Again, something else Wera does that's very cool. Stickers. You know, I'm a car guy, so when I buy parts, we shell out, $800 for a fuel pump. I better get my, 50-cent sticker. And Wera, they take care of you on the sticker front. So there we go. It's a Tool Rebel sticker, by the way. But right here, this is one of their textile, to go, whatever you want to call it, pouches. Again, that is riveted. It's, again, I don't know what it looks like on camera, but I assure you, it's pretty dadgum robust. I've been pleasantly surprised with it when I've used it. And again, if this is something that you can't live without, you can have this thing at your hip, ready to go. Require extra screening at the airports and when you travel, whatever your goal in life, the holster is there to make it happen. So there it is. We're going to see some tie-ins with another product we brought in from Wera. Now this thing, look at that, 6 rivets on that bad boy. The center two, I guess, double for the strap and the casing. But again, super strong, regardless of what it seems like. Right here though, it's pretty natural, I gotta say. This is a design, let's be honest, you're either going to be intrigued by it or think that's a joke, you know, gimmick type of a thing. But even if you think it's cool, when you get it, it could be a major disappointment if the ergonomics were not done right. Are there some things I would personally tweak for a truly custom fit that no one does? Absolutely. But just from a general consensus, thinking of everyone in the marketplace, this is actually pretty good. No complaints on my end. Now, it's not going to be like their standard handles. Let me set that aside. So with Wera, and this would be I believe my favorite set from them, the striking cap ones, which are actually chisel drivers. They let you do that. That sort of got, you know, like the soft 2-component feel. This one is going to be more like the James Bond driver, if you will, sort of more plastic, kind of a hollow feel to it. Still plenty strong, but that's how it is. Now, if you're sitting here and you're thinking, oh, it's got the Rapidaptor, that is correct. So essentially, if we come over here to our countless bit of thinks at this point, stick that sucker in, it is locked in place, it is ready to go. So Rapidaptor is there. Similarly, if we wanted to do like longer bits, we can do that. If we need it stubby, we can go this route. To get it out, we simply press forward, extract the bit, put it back in our holster, and go to town. Now you're thinking, wait, this was an 8-piece set. Where are the bits? Well, think about it. What did I tell you about the James Bond driver, right? Let's see if you can read that. Hopefully you can. It says press. Okay, well, let's detonate the device, sir. There we go. So again, these are Wera's bits. They're top quality. This is not going to have a spinning magazine, sadly. You're going to have to like literally, you know, spin it around, see what you want. In this case, I'm just going to shut it because there's something more important. And what is more important, you can see on this head here. It's not the Wera logo. It's not the part number. It's not the long number. You see that? Does it look like an L, a dot, and an R? Well, I hope it does, because that's exactly what it is. And if you're putting things together now, left and right, and you're thinking, hey, does this ratchet? And you think, hey, RA, would that be ratchet action maybe? Well, you might have heard it already. Check that out. It indeed does ratchet. So we can come in, go to town here. It seems to have a little slip on the return, but, you know, again, nothing major. Right here it would be locked out, so, you know, it's free spin. We can really tighten stuff down. And over here, back in business. Now, how does all of this tie in with what we've just introduced? Well, let me show you, okay? We're going to come back up here to L-Boxx number 2. And if you're curious, this one is set up. This is how this one stays. And when I pop it open, you're going to see some familiar faces with some familiar parts, right? So, we have their Rapidaptor, you know, sort of their T-handle bit adapter, right? And so with it, we can do the same thing. We can come in and we can grab and snatch. Where did I leave it? In the Felo, I believe. Total mess over here. Hopefully I remember to get a thumbnail. But we can take this, snap that in place, and again, we've created a Wera T-handle, right? Nut driver, whatever size. Do we want it to be 5mm? Do we want it to be 13mm? We can do all those things with this socket set right to the side. So that works out beautifully. Again, with the Rapidaptor, we push up, we eject. Now, what is this right here? Anyone remember? One of the most comical devices it's sort of hard to find a use for. That's right, it is the turbo. This thing is absurd. But again, what did we just do? And this was a big part of the video. What have we done? We took the adapter, we took the socket. Anyone wanna throw down one of those really long screws through a panel with this sucker now? That's what you can do. Again, that's sort of where all this ties in. Again, tying in with our ratchet action pistol grip, and that we've got the Rapidaptor. Boom, it is out. So that means right here with our pistol grip, we come in, that simple, effortless, if you will. what do we want to do? We want to tighten this again. When I saw this as tool, this is something I was aware of. It was something I wanted, number one, because I didn't have a ratcheting screwdriver from Wera, and number two, and more importantly, kind of the unique aspect, it's a pistol grip. It's, you know, more importantly, as the card timed out, it's pistol grip, right? So it's not straight. You know, if this was a ratcheting screwdriver, we'd be sitting here like this. It's kind of awkward ergonomically, but picture yourself sitting in the chair, you know, and your dash is here, right? You know, the dash isn't straight flush. It's always angled. So that's where this would come in handy for what I'm thinking of. I'm sure there's a litany of other applications, but I was very excited to pick this up. As best I know, this is made in the Czech Republic. Are components of it made in Taiwan? I don't know, but I want to say I'm pretty sure it's Czech Republic. And like I said, it does... It's not, I mean, you know, like the greatest thing ever, but it's pretty dadgum good. And again, being a pistol grip driver that's ratchet action from a reputable company, I feel pretty good about this being my pickup, especially at tool of the day price. Now, this would be something I would consider at the full price point, you know, but maybe if it came with more bits, type of thing. And I don't mean the little ones. I don't mean these typical size ones. What I'm talking about is what's in here and what I keep packed with these, right? So just for contrast, we're going to come in, we're going to grab our titanium one. Check that out. Now what we've done is, instead of having this like close quarters for ratcheting action, we've kind of created what would be a standard size driver, right? And in that case, you know, or if there's like an obstacle here, maybe there's a sheet metal frame and we need to access it, and if we had the standard bit, we would hit here and we don't have access to it. Well, now with the longer bits, we can come in with the 89mm ones and just go to town, essentially creating a standard shafted screwdriver. Again, Rapidaptor, if you're not sure how it works, to insert the bit, there, it's locked in place, one-handed. Now to eject the bit, all we do is we press up and I extract it. So, like I said, am I a little too excited about this? Maybe I am. So I imagine at least a few of you are also as dorkily excited as I am. And it's, again, not necessarily just that we have a pistol grip driver, which combines two of my favorite things, all right? Old Mopars, shifters, and ratcheting screwdrivers. So we've got that front covered, but now we're able to come in and we can utilize this in so many different applications. It's going to be, I think, a pretty solid pickup. Again, tool of the day, it happens every day. You never know what it's going to be. Some days it's like, you know, a $5 tape measure. The next day it's like a $9 flashlight. The next day it's a Cyclops ratchet and socket set that would typically be $512, and it's on sale for $260. You know, that's why I check it every day. If you want to, if you're old school like me, I literally go to the website. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you prefer, there's a good chance KC Tool is there. And a lot of the complaints, this is one of those like pro tips, I guess, but a lot of times what people complain to me about is like, oh, I really wanted to get that, but, you know, it's sold out. If you read the fine print, okay, if this could be tool of the day tomorrow and it might be sold out already, like it's sold out, let's say Tuesday afternoon, right? And this is tool of the day Friday. It's going to come, if you're the very first person right after midnight to get on their website, and this is tool of the day for $45, and it says sold out. That doesn't mean you can't buy it for $45. That means you can buy it for $45. You're just going to have to, it's not going to ship, you know, that day when they show up at the office. You're going to have to wait for stock to come in. So, similarly, you could wait until like 10:30 at night. Maybe you work a long shift or something, had supper, had to do stuff with the kids or the wife or something, and you finally get some downtime, and you're like, oh man, I really want that thing. You sign on, you check in on the website, it's sold out. You can still get it for the cheap price. You're crazy if you don't, if you want it, type of a deal, right? So I buy tool of the days that's out of stock all the time. And the reason, instead of paying $82 for this, I get it for sub 50. And at that price point, it is a no-brainer. Now, on that note, I guess we clipped the 30-minute mark, so we were able to turn this primarily through my giddy excitement for things we could create with adapters into a decent video for you, I hope. So eventually I would like, again, I feel like I've got a Felo one somewhere. In fact, it might have actually been with something else. I think that's what my logic was. I think probably in the Felo bit box there was an adapter. The Hazet one, if there's enough interest in this, if you want to see them all laid out side by side so you can decide whether you want a $5.87 made in America Wiha version or like the $20 Hazet unicorn version, let me know, because otherwise just max the card. I had to delete some files, but if you really want to see all of them lined up and compared, let me know, because otherwise I may very well bypass the expensive Hazet option. But, like I said, the adapters themselves, you probably think of them in like conventional ways. For example, we could come in here and we could throw the adapter in, and we've created, a 13 millimeter, stubby nut driver type of a thing, right? But where it really got me going, in particular with this Felo one, we got ratchet action, we got 90, we got 45 with the flexible shaft bit holders. We've created a lot, thinking of plugging it in our T-handles from Wiha, Felo, and Wera. It just opens up, I'm sure, it's going to vary person to person, but it opens up so many possibilities of things you can do. And if you're not coming up with anything right now, hopefully within like the next week or two, you're going to have a situation. You're going to be like, wait, this is it. This is my moment. This is my application for what that idiot was so excited about last Saturday. And if the stars align, maybe you can pick this up cheap. If not, maybe, who knows? Maybe one of those $10 bit adapters will go on sale for $4, and you can go to town there. That is my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm starting to get cold out here, but it's a true story. I don't think I got to tell you, but the car was pristine, right? I'd washed it this past weekend. It was barely windy all week. There wasn't dust. We were supposed to get like pretty good chance of rain and snow this weekend, of course, because it's always on the weekend. But lo and behold, right around, I'd say 4:15, there comes the rain. I hear that familiar sound on the tin roof of the shop, and I'm thinking like, please be sprinkles. And yeah, I was moving some stuff around on the forklift, which, spoiler alert, I did a really cool thing with my Stahlwille pocket knife. Straps, that are too tight to the product for forks to fit under. It's typically like best to have another guy stand there and like hold the strap so I can go under with the forks. Didn't have anyone available because it was after hours, so what did? I wedged my knife in and got the forks. It saves me from having to jump on and off the forklift a million times. So small victories. If anyone else is in my boat, I'm sure you can appreciate that. But I took pictures to commemorate the occasion. But nonetheless, by that point in time, it dumped rain. The car was filthy. And I'm really sad. But, when you leave work at on a good day at 5:30 and you drive into the abyss of the night, it sucks. So that said, this cheers me up, so we'll go with that. But, one more time here, we got the classic Felo switcheroo, as some of you call it. Check this out. Instead of being a bit, we convert it. Oh yeah, great combination, right? Tight quarters, T-handle, whichever you want. You're good to go. So, am I crazy, or does everyone else love this stuff too? Let me know. Again, don't think of this as like the common stuff. Think of it with like the oddball things. Flexible shaft bit holders, things along those lines, and it is what it is. But all that aside, maybe we'll try to fit this in here. Maybe we'll have to get a bigger L-Boxx. This would actually be a great pairing. The turbo, the pistol grip, and the T-handle. It's pretty legit setup there. But that aside, I will quit rambling. I do hope you're enjoying your weekend. Let me know your thoughts on all this stuff. If you love it, if you hate it, if you've used it, if you're gonna get it. And we will take it from there. But LoneStarMopars.com is the website. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whichever you prefer. You can find me on all three at Lone Star Mopars. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and do that. Ring the bell, jump through the flaming hoops, get your charger across the creek, and maybe, just maybe, they'll let you know that we have tool videos every Saturday. But on that note, I'm going to try to get a little bit more done here in the shop, clean some stuff up. And I will catch you back here for the next KC Tool.